Welcome back to the Dethroning Your Inner Critic YouTube channel. I'm Joanna Kleinman, psychotherapist, empowerment coach, best-selling author, and the creator of the M.I.N.D method. And today we are diving into the hidden truth about your emotions. So, have you ever felt so upset with somebody that you just can't shake it? Or maybe you've been betrayed, you've been disrespected, you've been judged, and no matter how much you try to move on, those emotions keep bubbling up. So, what if I told you that when what you're actually upset about has nothing to do with them? What if the real battle isn't with the outside world, but with yourself? Now, this is not just a philosophy, okay? This is neuroscience and ancient wisdom that both tell us that the world we see is actually a reflection of our own consciousness. So if you're carrying anger around or resentment or pain from your past, you're actually carrying around your own unprocessed energy. And the most powerful thing that you can do is to stop fighting that energy and instead to learn how to let the light in. So let's talk about a hidden filter, okay, and how your brain creates your reality. So everything that you've ever seen or heard or experienced, every heartbreak, every moment of joy, every painful memory has been filtered through your own mind. Okay. The brain doesn't just take in raw data, it interprets everything through the lens of your past experiences. So when you think that person betrayed me, what's really happening is that your mind is pulling together old memories, past pain, unconscious beliefs to create a story about what happened. Okay, now here's the mind-blowing part. The emotions that you're feeling are not about them. They are about you. Your brain is simply resurfacing an old wound, and that person in front of you is just triggering it. Okay. It's like pressing on a bruise. It hurts, but not because the person pressing caused the injury. The pain was already there. So when you hold on to anger or resentment, you're not punishing them. You're just keeping your own wound alive. Okay, now you've heard the saying, what you resist persists. So neuroscience shows us that the more that you focus on something, the more neural pathways you strengthen around that thing that you're focusing on. So when you replay an argument in your head over and over again, you're actually reinforcing the emotional charge. You're training your brain to stay in that feeling. Now, again, ancient wisdom teaches us the same thing. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So imagine your mind like a garden, right? So your thoughts are the seeds. If you keep watering the weeds of anger and resentment and judgment, that's going to grow. If you shift your focus to what brings you joy and gratitude and peace, those will flourish instead. And this is not about letting go because we don't let go of thoughts, okay? We just stop giving them power. Think of a dark room. You don't get rid of the darkness, right? You open the curtains or you turn the light on. That's how you let the lightness in. So you do the same thing with your emotions. You don't fight the negative feelings. You invite something more powerful in. So the practice is training your nervous system to actually handle pain. Okay. So what you do when a painful emotion surfaces, okay, you've got to be able to understand how to have emotional mastery over that emotion that's surfacing, right? Because pretending that emotion is there obviously does not work. So here's the real process of emotional mastery. Okay. Number one, You've got to acknowledge the emotion fully. So instead of suppressing it, you've got to ask yourself, what about this makes me mad? And journal about it. Let the anger, the resentment, the sadness, let it come up. Okay. Number two, you've got to find the wound. Where is this feeling really coming from? What old story or experience is it touching? Right? Is it a fear of rejection? Is it a fear of not being enough? Number three, you've got to allow it to exist. You've got to feel it deeply, not as a victim, but as an observer. You've got to let it be there without judgment. Number four, you've got to flip your focus, right? So now you shift your attention to something that brings you joy. It could be a person you love. It could be a moment that made you smile. It could be a feeling of warmth in your heart. It could be, a beautiful room in your home that you love. And number five, is to repeat steps 1 through 4. Okay. The more that you train your mind to switch gears between allowing the emotions to surface and consciously choosing joy, the more your nervous system learns that it's safe to feel pain without being consumed by it. And here's the magic. When you practice this, the negative emotions start to let go of you, right? You don't let go of the emotions. They let go of you because you're no longer feeding them. So when you start living this way, when you stop fearing emotions and you start mastering them, you gain real freedom because you realize that nothing outside of you has the power to shake your peace unless you let it. Okay. And here's the full circle moment. Every person you ever admired, every moment of beauty you've ever experienced, that was actually you. That was you seeing a reflection of your own inner light. So true self-love isn't about fixing yourself. It's about recognizing that you were never broken to begin with. You were just caught in an old story. And now you're writing a new one. That's where true confidence and self-love comes from. So if this resonated with you, if you're ready to start shifting your inner world, take my free inner critic assessment. It's designed to show you exactly where your unconscious patterns are keeping you stuck and how to finally break free. So like this video, share your biggest takeaway in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe because this is the kind of deep transformation we talk about every week. So your mind creates your reality. So what are you going to grow in your garden today?